Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
It's time to steer the line.
Touchdown!
Sports betting, fantasy football, and the latest NFL news. Featuring Loud Esmond, Christian Giordani, Rocky Giordani, and Jeremy James. Bet on us to make you a better better.
What?
Let's get ready to steer the line.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to another segment of Steer the Line. I'm your host, Christian Giordani. We have Mr. Loud Esmond with us and Mr. Jeremy James. And a lot of news today, a lot of news. The NFL draft just happened. Lamar Jackson just got a crazy deal. But before we get into any of that, I just want to bring up something really funny I saw earlier today on Twitter. Antonio Brown announces comeback to the NFL as a Baltimore Raven. And one of the Ravens players commented under said, "Is anyone going to tell him that the Ravens never offered him anything?"
He just was deciding that he was going to be a Raven, huh?
Yeah, he decided.
Wow, I didn't see all that.
Yeah.
This is okay. Hang on, just a second. This is a sports betting show, so let me just. I know we have a ton to talk about the draft, so I just want to get this out. Okay, the XFL playoffs are tomorrow. And in case anybody wants to know, I did win our XFL Fantasy Football League pretty handily.
Ooh,
so just
cheated.
Throwing it out there. Christian put up a good fight in the last game. I only beat him by like 80. So it was close. Just saying. Roughnecks take on the Renegades. The Renegades do not belong in the playoffs. They are 2 games under 500 for the season. And they're going to get run by the Roughnecks unless the Roughnecks, trip coming out of the gate like a bad racehorse and crap themselves or something. But I do say the Roughnecks are going to pretty much wipe the floor with the Renegades. And then here's my upset. The Seattle Sea Dragons dropped their first 2 games of the season. They had to battle to win 2 or 3 more in a row, and then they started playing great. The last time they played the DC Defenders, they lost by 1 point because they missed a 2-point conversion. They went for the win and they didn't get it. Earlier in the season, when they weren't playing well, they lost their second game of the season, the Defenders, but they only lost by 4. And again, they had the ball at the 1-yard line and their quarterback fumbled the ball on a quarterback sneak. So I think the Sea Dragons are the upset this weekend. And then one game pick for the USFL, the Stallions, which are clearly best team in the league right now, get the Breakers. This game should be like a 9.5, 10-point spread. It's only 6.5. Stallions will run all over, or should I say gallop, all over the Breakers. And you know how pretty it is to see horses run in the surf. So I'm just going to say the Stallions get that win and easily beat the 6.5. All right, there are your picks for the weekend. Oh, and tomorrow, Dodgers minus 139 on the money line to beat the Cardinals with Kershaw on the bump.
Getting the win.
There we go.
All right, yeah, but there's that, and then we have the NFL draft coming around. But before we get to that, I do want to talk about Lamar Jackson's new contract. He's staying in Baltimore. Rocky was right on that one. I owe him that one. Next time I see him, I owe him 10 cents.
I think that's kind of what we all, kind of expected, or at least thought should happen. There was really no other place for him to go. There was no other quarterback out there for the Ravens to, go after or work with. So I think it was best for all parties. The fact that he got more money than Jalen Hurts and he's now the highest paid NFL player by per year ever, then it obviously made him happy, and they got their guy.
Yeah, and it just proves that the Cleveland Browns are idiots.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah,
which we all universally said when they paid Deshaun Watson $250 million guaranteed, especially coming off all the crap he was, they had to be out of their freaking minds. But they were desperate. And they made the mistake of, when you're desperate, don't make a decision. And they made a decision, and it was dumb. And they'll be an outlier forever. So there's that.
They went to prom with the ugly girl. That's what
well,
they did.
And paid her. So,
And
I mean, you can either be fat and ugly or get paid. And they
He
did
was
both.
both.
So
Yeah.
there's that.
so that deal for Lamar, it's 5 years, $260 million, including a $185 million fully guaranteed on an average salary of $52 million a year. Yeah, he never got that guaranteed money like how he wanted, but he dealt as his own agent, so he gets 100% of that earnings. Nothing goes to his agent. Nothing.
That's
goes to
true.
anyone.
He doesn't lose 10, 15%. Interesting way to put. So
I didn't even think about that.
in a way, he is the highest, clearly the highest paid. Well,
Yeah.
good for him.
Yeah, good for Lamar. I love Lamar. I'm a big Lamar fan. All right, off that, now into the
I
draft.
don't think he's ever going to win a Super Bowl, but
In Baltimore, no, but
no,
different
never.
opinions.
He's
Never,
not.
ever.
He's,
All right.
he's not. He is not. He is not a quarterback that's going to win a Super Bowl. There you go. There's my marker.
All right, we have the NFL draft. Carolina, they took Bryce Young, number 1 overall. Did they make the right decision? Should have they gone with C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson?
No, they did what they should have done. He was the best quarterback in this draft, and I think they knew that's who they wanted all along. And I was glad to see that the Houston Texans didn't do anything too crazy. They got their guy, at number 2, but then they made a brilliant move to jump back up to number 3 and get that defensive end. I mean,
Will Anderson
to come away with those 2 guys at 2 and 3. With all the draft capital they have to work with, it was a fantastic move on behalf of the Texans. I thought that shows that they are really trying to turn this thing around.
They're making a step in the right direction. That's for sure. And
the
then
QBs are
Indianapolis.
Go ahead.
Indianapolis. Complete shift in play from quarterback standards. You have Matt Ryan last year, who's a pocket passer, slow as molasses, and now you got arguably the most athletic prospect in the draft, Anthony Richardson.
He is not going to see the field for a year. I guarantee you.
I don't know. The thing is, I mean, the other option is Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
And
I don't think their first year head coach, first year general manager, they don't have to win year 1.
That's true. Yeah.
If they put Anthony Richardson out against NFL defenses, they're asking to destroy that kid. He's not ready.
I think they're going to throw him in the fire.
Oh, my God. If they do, that is a ginormous mistake. He will be a Brian Leaf type bust if they do that. He's played 1 season
They'll give him
of
packages.
college football.
I think we'll see some packages, maybe near the goal line.
Okay, all right. So let me
Stuff like
rephrase.
that.
He will not start as the quarterback. He may
at all this year, or do you think he'll start midway?
He will not start. Okay, let me put it this way. If the Colts are not complete idiots, he will not start a game this year unless it's because of injury. He is not ready to play NFL football. You know what his completion percentage was last year, Jeremy?
Like 50.
53.
Yeah. No, I was surprised by the pick. I was surprised by the pick. I'll be honest. I thought they were going to go Levis, that he'd be more ready to start, that they wanted to jump in and get going. But, maybe they're willing to wait it out a year. It would probably be smart to do.
Speaking of Levis, he had a 0.1% chance of not going past the first round. And now he hasn't even been drafted yet.
No, he has been drafted.
He was drafted. Oh, I think this is the steal of the draft.
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee
jumped up and made the pick for him.
I don't hate it.
No, they had to do something. No,
Tennessee culturally is a great fit for him. They don't ask their quarterback to do a lot. They just need a quarterback who's not going to turn it over.
Yeah, you know what? Derrick Henry's going to spread the field a lot for him. I think it's a great fit.
So here's the question. Is Tannehill done as the starting quarterback in Tennessee?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those, we'll let him compete during, the offseason and in preseason, depending on how the kid looks. They may roll the veteran out there, let him play, but if they don't start winning or not doing well, then, hey, they'll get a spark from the kid. But he could also just go in there and beat him out. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an open competition heading into
I'm
the camp.
absolutely with Jeremy on this. I think they're going to say, hey, it's a quarterback competition. The best man's going to win. And Levis is going to have to prove that he's better than Tannehill. I'd give that about a 60-40 in Levis's favor. Christian?
Yeah, I give it 60-40. You know, who else is on that depth chart? I can't remember the kid's name right now.
Liberty, the Liberty quarterback who they obviously have no belief in at all.
Yeah.
No.
God, what was his name?
Willis? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Malik Willis. Yeah,
that poor kid got drafted into a bad situation, and he's probably just going to jump around the league, backing up some teams here and there, and then we'll see him in the XFL.
We'll see him in the XFL.
Yeah, XFL.
We'll see him in the XFL is where we're going to see Malik Willis.
Welcome you with open arms, brother. We'll welcome you.
That's where Desmond Ridder is going to be, too. I think there's a number of quarterbacks that got drafted last year that we're going to see in the USFL and the XFL soon.
Really? Desmond Ridder?
Yeah, I absolutely believe so. I don't think Pittsburgh has the answer at quarterback either at Kenny Pickett.
You don't like Kenny Pickett?
No, I don't think so.
I think that kid's cold. I think that kid's cold.
We'll see. But I was glad to see Will Levis go to a team that I think is a well-managed team, that has a great culture, that has a good, stable coach. I think he's in a great situation because you know what? It almost would be better for him to not beat out Tannehill so that he gets a year to sit behind Tannehill and watch.
He doesn't got a lot to work with on that team outside of the running game either. So, maybe give them another year to bring some more weapons in and then put the kid in because he's not a lot of people to throw to over there in Tennessee.
Yep. All right. I want to ask you guys one question.
Lou, you're muted.
I want to ask you guys one question. We're on the show right now. Who's your steal of the draft right now?
I don't know. Loud's still muted, though. I can tell you that. I can see the cross through his little microphone on the screen. You muted yourself somehow. Check your headphones.
His mic isn't connected. All right.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, between that, it's just you and me right now, Jeremy.
Steal of the draft. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some of the later round picks off the top of my head. I can't think of anyone right now. I got to say that I think we saw a couple of steal of the drafts right here in the top of round 2. I mean, just now at pick 45, Detroit traded up and picked up Brian Branch at corner, and that was a desperate need for them. And they got a really talented player to step in and play that role. There's Loud is back, and we were just talking about him. I think Will Levis was a great move by Tennessee.
Yeah, I love that.
So that was a good one too.
I got 2 of them right now. They're both in the first round. I think the best player in this draft right now got picked at 17, Christian Gonzalez for the New England Patriots.
Yes, that was a great pickup for them. I couldn't believe he fell. I was almost kind of hoping the Raiders were going to take him at 7, and I would have been happy with it.
Yeah, and besides him, Seattle's been drafting great. Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be
You add him to Tyler
Lockett and DK Metcalf.
Oh, my Lord. A murderer's row.
Well, look what Philadelphia did on their defensive line.
Yeah.
That was that right now. If I was
Jalen Carter.
The team that has won the draft so far are the Eagles.
Yeah. To pick up that defensive tackle and then that end to replace and go with the guys they already have, they're not going to miss a beat on that defensive line there.
Jalen Carter fell because of character issues. Well, all right, fine. Honestly, the Raiders should have taken Carter. I think he's a better player.
I was kind of hoping for that pick too. I mean, but I'm not mad at the Wilson pick. I like Tyree Wilson. I like his long arms. I like the way he bends and plays the game. It's something that they need. They need some pressure. But yeah, I was not mad at the Tyree Wilson pick at all. So, but yeah, what Philly did was just great. But on the flip side, when I look at what Detroit did with their 2 picks, they kind of left me wondering what they were doing.
Running back in the first round,
the second running back in the first round, and then a linebacker that I think they could have easily gotten in the top of the second round today.
But getting Jake Laporta makes up for all of it.
That was a nice pick.
They could have had to reach for him earlier. They got the best tight end in the draft. And they got draft picks for giving up their tight end during the latter part of the season last year. So I think the Lions had sort of embarrassment of riches in terms of all the picks that they had. So maybe the running back is a reach, maybe. But also, he's a hell of a running back. The linebacker, he's the guy that they liked. So that's who they took. Yeah, and then they got the number 1 tight end in the draft at the top of the second round.
Oh, and then they like I said, they just fixed the hole they had in corner, getting Branch in the second round, another talented guy. So
who could have gone in the first.
I think their second round has been almost better than their first round, but they've got so much to work with.
It's just, if as someone who aspires to be a GM, I could never imagine picking a running back in the first round in the modern NFL. It's a waste of a pick, in my opinion, honestly.
I was surprised when Atlanta did it last night, as early as they did.
Oh, have you watched Bijan Robinson play?
Oh, yeah.
He's great.
He is great, but it's just they had a good young running back who broke 1,000 yards last year and wasn't even a starter all season. I thought they could have run with that kid and probably added somewhere else on their defense or another weapon.
Some guys are generational talents. You know what I mean? Bijan Robinson, to me, is one of those. He's a running back that could be a Hall of Fame running back. And unlike Ricky Williams, he prefers getting paid and playing running back than smoking dope. So I think he'll be a Texas.
Ricky Williams drop.
Ricky Williams, Texas running back.
Oh, okay.
Bijan Robinson, Texas running back.
I don't remember colleges.
In the first round. And Williams was a bust because, he liked the weed and he liked to eat more than playing football. So there's that.
The munchies, man, they really do.
He's now a yoga instructor in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Just throwing it out there.
Great.
Living the life.
Yeah. I think Seattle won this draft, honestly. Devon Witherspoon, they got Jackson Smith-Njigba. They have been drafting great so far. I'm very excited to see how they proceed.
Well, as a newly minted Saints fan, I will tell you this. The Saints' problem going into this offseason was they got gashed by the run over and over and over in games. They could rush the passer. They couldn't stop the interior running game. And everybody scratched their heads when they let the 2 interior running game defensive linemen go. They sucked. That's why when your team doesn't match the offer you get from the other team, let me just put it this way. If I went to my wife and I said, honey, would you prefer me or maybe would you like to look for somebody else to be your husband after 20 years of marriage? And she said, let me think about it. That's a problem. The Saints let those 2 interior defensive linemen go because they weren't very good. And then through free agency, they brought in 2 more. And then they brought in a great defensive lineman from Clemson and a great defensive end. So they sort of shored up their weakness on defense and then took a strength and made it even better. So I'm as a Saints fan, I'm happy with what they've done so far.
Who was their second round pick at this point? It's Foskey.
Foskey.
That's right.
Foskey
right.
from Notre Dame.
Yeah, no, really nice pickup by them. And so what else is happening draft wise? Cody Ma was just drafted. Is that how you say his name? Ma? Or is it Mach? Do you say the CH?
Mach.
He's the big tackle out of North Dakota, the big
Yes.
ginger guy with missing the front teeth.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's restructuring their front line. As long as with the Rams, they picked an offensive tackle. An offensive guard.
Who took Hendon Hooker?
Nobody yet. He's still there.
No, he's still on the board.
He has not been drafted as of yet.
Hendon Hooker is still on. Zay Flowers. I'm very excited to see what Zay Flowers does in Baltimore.
I mean, I'm looking at who's drafting. I'm looking at teams that haven't taken a quarterback. Who needs Hendon Hooker right now? I mean, where is a good landing spot for this guy?
I wouldn't mind Minnesota.
No, there you go. Okay,
Minnesota would be a great spot. Perk 40 Cousins is he's an all right quarterback in the regular season. He's proven that he won't take that step in the playoffs, and it's time for a
Hendon Hooker
change.
went to the Washington Commanders at pick 47.
Oh, it just happened, and I just missed it.
Yep,
okay.
It just happened.
Okay, well there you go.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought they.
They have Jartarius Martin.
No, it was projected. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The wrong
yeah,
thing.
Hendon Hooker is still off.
Oh my God, Hendon Hooker's still out there.
And that's the thing. Washington would have been one of those spots I would have considered a landing spot for him. Maybe Atlanta,
Green Bay,
Minnesota. I don't know if you want to put a rookie behind a guy you're finally starting in Green Bay. Finally giving him a shot. I don't know if you want that pressure on him. Just got rid of the old guy. Now he gets to play.
Go ahead.
Even Las Vegas. Maybe could use a young guy behind Garoppolo.
Another place I can use a young guy behind a veteran quarterback is Detroit. I love Jared Goff. He can throw the ball like no one else, but
yeah,
it would be good for them to have a young quarterback in case anything happens to him.
Well, what about the Rams? Considering how much time does he have left?
The Rams don't even have a quarterback anymore.
We just gave $118 million for the next 4 years to Matthew Stafford.
Oh, is that how long they gave him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he is our quarterback.
So they're screwed.
Yeah, we are screwed.
By the way, speaking of the Rams, they have re-upped their contract with this station, and they will be giving us a Rams player every Friday night to talk to during the regular season and the preseason. And they're going to be giving us hospitality suite tickets to training camp. So
Christian's excited.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
very
that
much
for him.
Yeah, it's my new birthday present coming up. That was my birthday present last year.
You're welcome.
Camp. I became 20 over there. That was fun. A lot is still going on in the draft. Man, Washington needed a quarterback. Miami's in questions with Tua's situation. Dallas needs to get Dak out of there. I don't care.
Is there anyone else besides Hooker floating around out there that is kind of surprised that they're still available?
Well, Hooker, honestly, I'm not high on him as an NFL quarterback. I'd like to see him in the XFL. Just throwing it out there. I don't think he's a Brian Branch for the Lions, safety, Alabama at 45. The Lions draft is looking better and better.
It is.
Honestly.
Yeah, I like what they've done. Like I said, in the second round, I think makes up for a couple of things I would have questioned in the first round. But hey, like you said, they have so many picks, and they're a young team just trying to build up and build a culture. They're going out and getting the guys they want. You can't really blame them for that. May not be the most popular names that we all like, but they obviously like these guys.
Playoff teams that got better.
Philly.
Yep.
They have the best roster in the league right now, I think.
Seattle
got better.
Seattle did.
Dalton Kincaid at tight end for the Bills.
That was
I saw that. I like that. Put someone outside besides Gabe Davis and Stephon.
Yeah, what's his name? Dawson
Knox.
Dawson Knox. He's a fine tight end, but you got a different breed. You got a different breed in this young kid who's coming in, and I think it's going to be a great weapon for him there. Now, if they could just add themselves a running back in the next round or two.
You know what we haven't talked about? The Aaron Rodgers trade to the Jets was finally made real.
Shoot.
Oh, yeah. We forgot about that.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers to the Jets.
It
Okay.
happened.
Predictions, and I want this tape held and marked. I'm dating myself with the fact that I'm talking about tape. Are the New York Jets a playoff team this year with Aaron Rodgers, Jeremy?
Yes.
Yes. 100%.
I think so. He's going to. They played well at times with bad quarterback play and beat some teams they shouldn't have last year. They get a guy. He doesn't have to be the all-world MVP. He
1 minute
and be solid and just be solid Aaron Rodgers, and that team's going to have enough weapons on offense and a great defense.
Who's in the AFC East?
Patriots,
Buffalo?
Bills, Dolphins. Yeah. It's going to be the most competitive division. But, we said that about the AFC West last year. So we'll see.
If they make the playoffs, the Jets, with Aaron Rodgers, they will be a wild card. They are not going to win the AFC East. It's going to be Buffalo.
I agree with you on that. I think Buffalo will win that division. Miami's great. They got Jalen Ramsey, my dude, but I think Tua's just a little too shaken up, and I don't think he's going to be what he used to be. Any last thoughts before we head out, guys?
Met me on the dog-faced banana patch.
What he said.
All right, everyone. Tight.
Oh, where's my jersey?
Oh, that ugly thing.
All right, everyone.
We're
this
working
is
on it.
Line. We will see you guys next week.
Go Raiders.